Do you kind of feel like you're invisible in conversations? Like once a conversation starts going, you are the person that they might side eye once or twice. Just notice that, okay, you're there. And then you're just forgotten about and the conversation revolves around the other people. Have you ever been the person where when people are talking about high school drama, about how one person's getting with another person and how all this drama attention and people are so invested in what they're saying, and then suddenly you come up and ask them,
hey guys, so what do you think is the animal that resonates with you the most, that resonates with your personality the most?
Uncalled for, unasked, you come in with this question. Think of yourself as now the other person. Now if you have these two choices, A, the high school drama, B, the animal choice, which one are you likely to pick? Comment that down below, A or B. I'm pretty sure most of you would want to know A, because that just seems way more interesting. So I used to think that I couldn't do anything. You know why? Because I'm an introvert and introverts can't generally change. I'm built that way. How can I change the way that I'm born? Right? That's probably a question you've had. How can I change the things that I do? Things that are so ingrained in my brain. How can I change them? So I'm not going to say that this is the magical solution for conversations, because there's no such thing. This is something that my dad told me when I was very young, and this probably changed everything. When I was about 15, that's when my dad once saw me slouching and walking. And he just said, why are you slouching? And you do understand that people do perceive you a different way just because of how you walk, right? I don't know. Well, what does it matter whether I'm slouched like this, whether I'm walking confidently like this? It doesn't matter. So I was just like, no, what are you talking about? No. And then he said, so you can be the smartest guy in the room, but if your posture's off, if you look like this, if you're facing down, people are not going to take you seriously. At the same time, you could be all confident looking and you could actually present with charisma. And even if you just know 50% of what you're saying, you might get away with it. And the more that got into my head, I thought, you know what? Maybe he's right. So what is this one thing that you can do? It's very simple. And you can maybe do this right now with me. All you need to do, pull up your shoulders, push it back and push it down. And now face straight up. You don't need to flail your shoulders left and right to look macho and all that. You don't need to do all that. Now, putting your shoulders back is just a trick to make you feel less nervy. It's not a trick to really make you better at conversation, right? When it comes to conversations, naturally I'm introverted, so it takes me some time to get into a conversation. It might take me a good minute, and then you know what? I get flowing. If you know that you're going towards a social situation, you know that there are going to be a lot of people where you're going to right now, and you have some free time. What I do is pick up my phone, I pretend like I'm calling somebody. Whatever it is, I just keep getting words flowing. All it is, I'll just keep saying something. I'll pretend like I'm going on with the conversation, and that's it. Then by the time you reach that event, by the time you reach that situation, you've already given yourself that 1 minute period that you need to adjust to speaking. And this is what I like to call the fake phone call trick. It works more often than not for me, and comment that down below if it has worked for you before in the past. I'm pretty sure everybody here knows at least one person that's a suck up to another person, that just agrees with everything that another person's saying. It's not bad when you do it a couple of times, but when that becomes monotonous, when that becomes repetitive, people don't take you seriously. If one person can see that, you know what? Everybody else in the group can see that as well. Now you might be sucking up to the person leading the conversation. But what about the other people in the group? They won't take you seriously. If they don't take you seriously, once he's done talking, once another person's leading the conversation, you don't have that level of respect anymore, do you? So this is what I call the ad-libs guy. If you don't want to do that, you can do one of two things. Number one, you can ask questions. You can ask questions that are leading on with the general topic of the discussion. Let's say people are talking about a hiking trip that they went on. You can ask what the spots are. You can ask, is this your first hike? That will lead on to a lot of follow-ups after that. And you can even ask, how much did it cost? Or where did you travel? How did you travel? How did you get there? How was the experience there? And you lead on with questions there. If you don't want to do that, you can be the contrarian. You can just disagree with most things that they say. Or you can disagree with an opinion you actually don't agree with. And this is not one I would actually recommend for somebody who has not tried this in the past. can't just disagree with everything, because then you're as bad as the person sucking up, because now you're just going against the grain just for going against the grain. So what you want to do, when needed, just stand up for your own opinion. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you know what, I'm standing up for my cause. No. It can be just simple. If you don't agree with a point, just say, you know what, I don't really agree with that. I actually think of it this way. They can respect that way more. But you do that repetitively, and then it's as good as a suck up as well. So if you've learned something from this video, comment that down below. What was your main takeaway from this entire video? And if you guys like this, like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And always remember, never stop dreaming. See you all.